All right, finished up a live, well, not live, but training. Now I'm live, but I finished up a training on my Instagram on worrying, and I'm gonna re-share it or retrain it over here. Um, because on my Instagram the live thing goes away, and here it's documented, and it's gonna be here. So worrying, I'll tell you the process of worrying, and then I'll tell you the definition of worrying, and I'll tell you how to fix it, how to replace worrying, what to do to replace worrying, so you don't have to worry and suffer and be tormented by worrying and not being able to sleep. So you'll be able to sleep better. You'll be able to have a fresh mind. You'll be able to have a clear mind instead of this phenomenon called worrying. So the process of worrying begins with you're imagining a future and having fear, imagining a fear over this future, an imaginary fear, and feeling the feeling of anxiousness in the moment because of an imaginary future. Do you see that? Worrying is what you get. No, let me see. Worrying is an investment you make. It's an investment you make where there is no return on your investment. There's no ROI. Worrying is an investment you make where there's no return on your investment. What do I mean? That means that if you were, for example, you've saved up hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever contentious amount that is, wherever you're from, and you save up a lot of money and you're looking at something to invest in, and you see this stock that you want to invest in, but you find out the information about the stock is that this stock, when you invest in it, you don't get any money in return. When you put money in it and you don't get anything in return, it's a worthless stock. Would you put any money in that stock and invest any money in that stock? The obvious answer is, of course, no, you would never invest in that stock. Here's why. Because you don't get any money in return. What's the point? It's worthless. That's essentially what one does when one invests in something called worrying. Worrying is when you invest emotional energy, when you invest energy into this thing where you don't get anything in return. So why would you? There's never any need to worry. And I'll give you a solution for worrying. So let me give you another example. Worrying is the worst use of your imagination. Worrying is the worst use of your imagination. What do I mean? Let me tell you a story. Say you're driving down a highway. You're driving down a highway and you get a flat. So you hear your tire pop and you get a flat. So you pull over on the side of the road, and then you look at the flat. You open your door. You look at the flat, and it's a long highway. It's dark. It's 1 a.m. and you say, "Well, it's not that bad. I can easily replace that flat." Let's say in this instance, you know how to change a flat. So you unlock the trunk, and you look around and you say, "Oh shit, my jack, I left it at home." So you don't have a jack, but what you see in front of you, just a quarter mile, a quarter mile ahead of you, there's a house, and the house is lit. There's a light open, and so you say, "Well, maybe I can go over there and ask if they have a jack." They probably have a jack. It looks like it's a big house. They have a bunch of cars in the driveway, and so you start walking over there, and then as you're walking over to that house, you're imagining to yourself, what if they're having dinner and it's 1 a.m. and they're having dinner and they open a door and they get angry because I'm disturbing them? Or what if they're having sex and I knock on their door and I'm disturbing them and they get angry at me? Or what if they have a jack and they still won't let me borrow it? Oh man! And then at this point you're at the house, you're in front of the door, and then you're all nervous and tense and worried, and then you knock on the door, and a sweet little lady comes out, and you say, "Keep your fucking jack." Worrying is the worst use of your imagination. You get it? So what do you replace worrying with? What you do is you do something called planning. Planning is essentially you're saying, if this happens, I'll do this. If that happens, I'll do that. If that happens, I'll do that. If this happens, I'll do this. Okay. I've got all the potentialities covered. I've got a plan for contingency. And now, after you've gotten all your contingencies covered for any possible things that could happen, you relax. There's never any need to worry anymore. Remember this, what happens, happens. What will happen, will happen. And there's nothing you can do in the moment when it happens, but all the best you can do is influence it. And you influence it by acting on the plan you created for the future. You get it? Hopefully you like that. Let me know if that made sense. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any contingencies for planning. Let me know if you enjoyed that. And I will talk to you on the next video.